This is Sunday Focus, a weekly public affairs program that looks at the topics affecting our society and the people who are making a change in the community each and every day. The people who have vision for the next generation. Sunday Focus presents new challenges for us, keeping you informed with topics of local and regional interest. Now the host of Sunday Focus, Christine Manica.
Hello and good morning. Welcome back to another edition of Sunday Focus. Hunting pheasants, it's a huge tradition in South Dakota. If you are new to the state, it's a way of life and it encourages kids to get outside. The Turner County Charity Youth Pheasant Hunt, it's all about involving kids in the sport and practicing safety. On top of this excitement, some celebrities even join the fun and perform a concert that day. This year, it's the 20th anniversary, and the headliner of the show at the Parker High School Auditorium will be singer-songwriter Josh Gracin on Saturday, October 19th. And joining us to tell us more information about the Turner County Charity Youth Pheasant Hunt and more about the concert is Byron Nogelmeyer. Good morning, Byron.
Good morning. How are you today?
We're doing great.
Good.
You know, it's nice to see you. And the main event, it's coming up really quick. Can you believe it?
No, I can't. It's coming up very quick.
Yes, and again, it's the 20th annual Turner County Charity Youth Pheasant Hunt, Saturday, October 19th. Been happening for 20 years, so let's just kind of start this story at the beginning. What is the Turner County Charity Youth Pheasant Hunt?
Well, it's a day when we take as many kids that have passed the hunt safe course out on a one-day pheasant hunt. We've been doing it, like you said, for 20 years. For 17 years now, it's been like a concert involved, and we've raised money and gave it away to charities. I think we've had close to, in the 20 years, right at or a little over 300 kids that we've taken out hunting pheasants.
Wow. That's pretty incredible when you put it in that perspective. Now, did you start this idea, Byron? Was this your brainchild?
Well, yeah, I guess it was. It kind of became a thought of mine that I wanted to take these kids out on a hunt. And pheasant hunting is such a tradition in South Dakota. I wanted them to be able to put their classroom practices into work out in the field with Hunt Safe, and to learn about the rules of hunting and what they should and shouldn't do and how they should do it and do it in a safe manner. Absolutely.
Who benefits from this event? Because we do say it's a charity youth pheasant hunt.
Yeah, you know, we've gave to a lot of charities over the years, but the last few years we've been donating our money to Wings of Valor. It's a lodge out by Parker that helps veterans. It empowers them in the outdoors, and these veterans come from all over the nation. We've been doing some pheasant hunts out there already, and they pay nothing. The money that Wings of Valor gets from donations brings these veterans in, and they house them for 3 days, and have a couple of pheasant hunts for them, and it's really has changed some of these veterans' lives. It gets them talking about their experiences when they were deployed, and it has changed several veterans' lives.
It's probably fun for you and even fun for the kids to listen to some of those stories, too, from the vets.
It's pretty interesting when you sit and listen to them, yes.
Absolutely. Now, can you believe it's been 20 years since this event started? What's happened in the last 20 years, you think?
That's a good question.
I know, right?
We've been so lucky to have youth that wanted to participate. We've had some great hunt safe instructors that help us get the kids lined up to participate. We just been so lucky that way. The time has flown by. I'm going to tell you a little story that happened the other day.
I love it when you tell me stories, Byron.
It's kind of a good story. I was in Shields, 2-3 months ago, and a young sales associate came to help me. And I looked at his name tag, and I go, "Hey," I says, "you were on one of my youth hunts." Yeah, he says, I was. He says, I've never had so much fun in all my life. He said, that was so fun, and I really appreciate you doing that. And he asked if we were still doing it, and I said, yeah. And he was just so appreciative that he was able to participate in that youth hunt. And that made me feel good.
Oh, absolutely. When you think about 20 years, you probably also think about how hunting has changed in the last 20 years, too. It's different from when you started, I'm sure.
Yeah, hunting has changed a lot. When I was young, we walked the cornfields, and it was you may or may not have seen a bird. And today, I think the birds have been more plentiful. I read somewhere in a retriever magazine that I get, South Dakota harvested like 1.24 million pheasants last year. And then it gave numbers of other states, and there's not a state that holds a candle to South Dakota for harvesting pheasants. We're number one. We're known as the pheasant capital of the world, and people just come here and they love to hunt pheasants. They every year they come back. Out-of-staters, they come back every year. They've made friends throughout all these years, and grandpas and sons and grandkids come to South Dakota to continue to hunt pheasants.
When we talk about hunting pheasants, we've made a game out of this, my husband and I, when we've been traveling across the state for his golf tournaments. The pheasants are everywhere in the fields. So we literally play a game called Scanning for Pheasants. And we like to count how many pheasants we do see out on the roads. They are pretty plentiful this year, I've been noticing.
Yeah, in certain areas of the state, obviously there are more. I see quite a few driving back and forth to work through Minnehaha, Lincoln, and Turner County. You see them flying across the roads. In the wintertime, you really see them congregate together, so the birds are out there. We had a great spring and a mild winter, and that really helps for the hatch and the survivability of the pheasants.
Yeah, that probably gets your dogs excited, too.
It doesn't take them much to get my dogs excited. If they see me put my orange cap on, they're getting excited.
Yeah, that, or a piece of steak, one of the two. If you are just listening, we're talking with Byron Nogelmeyer about the 2024 Turner County Charity Youth Pheasant Hunt. That's taking place Saturday, October 19th, and this year it's featuring country singer and songwriter Josh Gracin. Now, if we haven't said it enough, hunting pheasants, it creates a huge sense of pride here in the state of South Dakota and for residents. Now, this event in particular, it really does emphasize on youth hunting. Now, obviously, we've been mentioning this Hunt Safe course, so not any kid can just come out and participate in this event. So, Byron, let's just go over this Hunt Safe course. What is it all about for kids who are participating?
So, the qualifications for the Hunt Safe course, I believe you have to be 12 years old or 12 years old by December 31st. And you take the course. It's usually run over 3 days. It's like on a couple hours each evening and then maybe 4 hours on a Saturday. And then they go through all the rules, all the laws, and all the safety precautions of the gun, different parts of the gun, so they know how to handle a gun. So that is a great course for people to take, for young kids to take, even if they never plan on going hunting. It teaches them about safety with a gun. So if somebody and then it happens, somebody hands somebody a gun, you want to make sure it's safe and it's unloaded. And if you've never handled a gun before, how would you ever know how to do that? So that's why Hunt Safe course that the state of South Dakota and Game Fish and Parks puts on is a great course to take for any youth, but in our case, you got to be past that course, and they have a pretty good success rate for passing the youth hunters, and we invite the youth hunters to participate. Some choose to, some do not choose to. Actually, we're still down in Viborg Hurley School, they're putting their hunt safe course on right now. It should be finishing up this week, I believe, and then Parker is just having theirs on coming up. So we have to get some kids yet involved. We have 4 right now that have signed up, 3 boys and one girl, and they're from Freeman, South Dakota, and we're glad to have those kids over by Freeman over in Hutchinson County to participate also. So we're going to have enough kids. I know we will. It's just getting everything organized yet.
Absolutely. Now, when these kids go out in the field, what do you think their goals are?
Well, I hope their goal is to have fun. We like, to make sure they see pheasants, so we make sure there's pheasants out there for them to hunt. The fun part for us is watching them shoot their first bird, or if a bird flushes underneath their feet, how exciting that is. Because I remember as a child hunting with my dad and my grandpa, if a bird got out underneath my feet, it was like, it scares you, because you're not expecting it, because they're pretty elusive. They can hide pretty good until they get flushed. So it's a lot of fun. And as far as the kids, just getting outside, enjoying the fresh air, away from social media, thinking about nothing but walking through the field and enjoying a beautiful South Dakota day. We hope it's a beautiful South Dakota day.
Right, exactly.
Right.
How do you feel about this year's class?
You would think that there would be more kids that would be interested in taking it. I don't think that we get as many as we used to. When I was a kid, man, we had the room filled up. Of course, hunting was more of a big deal back when I was a young man, and so I hope that hunting isn't falling off. I hope we can keep this going in South Dakota, and we will. But we need help from parents and people that like to hunt to take kids out and make sure they have a good time while they do it.
From what you've noticed, what do you think gets these kids excited about this new journey that they're going on?
Well, I guess, when you get them out there, when you first start, they're pretty timid and they don't say much, and it's quiet, and you try to get them excited about, hey, we're going to have a good time today, and they're like, but after the day is done, when they walk in with the pheasant that they harvested, smiles are across their face. They're pretty proud of what they did. We make sure that, we ask them if they want us to clean the birds for preparation. Most kids, I don't think in the 20 years we've ever cleaned a pheasant. They want to take them home to their mom and dad and show them what they got, which is fine. That if their dad can help them clean the bird and show them how to do it, that's a good bonding moment, with father and son or father and daughter. So it's kind of an interesting day how it starts. Like I say, they're pretty meek and mild at first, but then by the end of the day, they're jacked up. They're pretty excited.
Well, absolutely. So you already kind of talked about it a little bit, but why do you think it's so important to pass along the South Dakota tradition to the youth?
Like I said before, just being outdoors, away from social media, learning gun safety, learning how to practice that safety out in the field. It's just a something that needs to be learned and taught and enjoyed.
Absolutely. Is it right for me to say that safety is really the key lesson of that day?
We are about as safe as we can be out there. We have mentors one-on-one with the hunter. We give them one shotgun shell to put in their gun they're walking through the field. When they shoot, and if they hit the bird, fine. If they miss, we know the gun is empty. And then when everything is back to normal and we're ready to move forward, we make sure they have a new shell that they can put in their gun, and we can move forward. So we do it as safe as possible. They all have eye protection on and some wear ear protection. So it's a safe day.
Can you remember your first successful day when you were out in the field when you were a kid? Because you have to look at these kids that are going out there on October 19th and put yourself in their shoes.
Yeah, when I was 12, 13 years old.
Which was just yesterday, right?
I think like 15 years ago. I had a friend of mine that we would go out and his dad farmed, and we'd always walk the land, and sometimes we'd see a bird, sometimes we wouldn't. But I do remember my dad and my grandpa and I walking in a cornfield and kicking up some birds, and it was just a great day. I grew up in Chancellor, and it seemed like when I was really young, before I was like 8, 9, it was like the businesses shut down. Like my dad and my uncle were in the garage business, and when opening day of pheasant season came, they shut the garage down in the afternoon. They went hunting pheasants because that's what you did. So that's how big a deal this used to be. I don't think that happens anymore, but there are some traditions that are carried out with families and friends. They make it the day. They all meet somewhere and they go hunting.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, besides the hunting aspect, the kids are sometimes joined by some pretty neat celebrities. Why don't you tell us about that?
Yeah, we've been so blessed with getting some great entertainment to come to Parker. Years when this first started, I was introduced to Jim Ed Brown. He was such a nice guy, and he helped. He was there with the kids. He hunted with the kids. He talked to the kids, and he was just an all-around great guy. And he said that he was coming the first time, and then he said, "I'll bring some people with me." And who were these people? I'm thinking, well, lo and behold, the first concert we had Jim Ed Brown, we had Daryl Singletary. Jimmy Fortune of the Statler Brothers. And then we had Jet Williams, who a lot of people don't know who Jet is, but Jet is the daughter of Hank Williams Sr. And so them four sat on the stage, and they played songs, and they told stories, and everybody laughed. And it was just a relaxed evening. So, Jim Ed and came back for several years. He brought Larry Cordell along. He's a songwriter, singer out of Nashville. He wrote Highway 40 Blues. And Murder on Music Row. So he a very popular man down in Nashville, and a great guy too. He was fun. And Jimmy Fortune came back several years. We've had Guy Penrod. He was a Christian music artist. Jim Ed brought Helen Cornelius with him one time, and they were a duo for years. And man, can them two sing together? That was just like listening to magic. They were really good. Daryl Singletary. I said he was there. Daryl Worley. He was there. Mark Wills has been there. Last year, we had Julie Eddy, who grew up in South Dakota. I think she just opened for somebody at the Denny here a month ago.
Yeah, not too long ago.
Yeah, so she's really, really becoming popular. And now this year we got Josh Gracin coming, and we are really excited to have him. I've never heard him in a concert, but I've been told he has a strong voice. He loves to sing, and the way we're doing it's not a full band. It's a kind of an acoustic set where they just kind of get up there and they sing their songs, and it's a relaxed atmosphere, and I really like that. It's not overpowering, the music. Sometimes you get the whole band there, and all you can hear is the band and the singers like in the background, but. The acoustics in our high school gym in Parker are good. We've been doing it there for several years. We got a great sound guy coming down from Watertown who's really been good. But yeah, we're really excited to have Josh Gracin come.
Yeah, absolutely. If you were just listening, we're talking with Byron Nogelmeyer about the 2024 Turner County Charity Youth Pheasant Hunt in Parker on Saturday, October 19th, like we've been talking about, featuring Josh Gracin. Now, we had to do some digging, and the last time Josh Gracin was here in South Dakota was in 2006, not too long after he was on American Idol at the Brown County Fair in Aberdeen, and now he's coming back to South Dakota all these years later. Now, clearly, Byron, you're excited to welcome him back to South Dakota.
I really am. The song that I hear the most, like on KXRB, is "Nothing to Lose."
Oh yeah.
And if you listen to that song, it's really peppy and fun to listen to, and it's a great hit for him. And I know he has other hits out there. Obviously, they probably don't get played as much as "Nothing to Lose," but that. If you just listen to that song, it's just a fun song to listen to. It just has a nice upbeat to it, and it's just fun.
Yeah, and we were talking about how he seems like he's excited to be coming back to South Dakota too.
I think so. We've been in contact with his team, and they're getting things arranged, and it's time to get it arranged, and we're ready to roll.
What do you think gets them excited about it?
I think just coming to South Dakota. His road manager, who is his keyboard player also, he said he's never been to South Dakota. He was hoping he could come, but he had other things going on, so he will not be able to make it. But the other two guys that are coming with him are excited to come, because I told them when you come to South Dakota, I'll guarantee you one thing: you'll see a lot of corn and soybeans, and a lot of them will probably be harvested by then. So
yeah, there you go. Now this year it's back for the 20th anniversary at the Parker High School Auditorium. Are you excited to have it back in Parker?
Yeah, last year we had it in an event center in Chancellor, and we just felt moving it back to Parker was probably a good place for us. It holds more people, and we're hoping that we can fill that gymnasium. If you're from Sioux Falls, it's not that far, 25 miles to get to Parker. If you've ever been to the Turner County Fair, that's where we're at. So it's not that far. It starts at 7. And it'll be done by 9:30, so you can get home at a decent time. And ticket prices are I hate to say cheap. They're not cheap. They're reasonably priced. Mm-hmm. They're $25 for adults, $10 for kids K through 12. What can you do for $25? I mean, come to Parker, hear Josh Gracin. That's what you can do.
And like you were saying, too, this is going to be a different concert. It's not the big bands and the noise. It's really stripped down. Right.
It's just three guys going to be sitting on the stage. They're going to sing their hits and tell the stories behind the song. And it'll just be a relaxed evening.
And let's emphasize again, this is a benefit for the Wings of Valor Lodge.
Correct. And we hope that we can raise some money for them so they can keep bringing veterans in to hunt and help those that have served our nation, whether they were deployed or not. We really want to honor our veterans, because that's why we have our freedoms for today.
Absolutely. And it's something else to keep note, too. Josh Gracin is also a veteran.
Correct. He was in the Marine Corps, and he's a Marine, because once a Marine, always a Marine, I've been told. And it's kind of interesting. I have a dog that I use out there. His name is Semper, Semper Fi. And if you know what Semper Fi is, I know all the Marines out there listening do. Always faithful. And that dog has not let me down yet. He's pretty faithful.
That's good to hear. Now, Byron, even though the shows haven't been going on for exactly 20 years, this whole big day, the Turner County Charity Youth Pheasant Hunt, it has been going around for the past 20 years. How proud are you of your team for getting such a great event like this going? Because it is a lot of work to keep it running for 20 years.
Yeah, it's 20 years is a long time. Some things don't last that long when it's just a group of guys that are meeting 4 times a year to put something together. we have our downtime when we're not as busy, obviously, but, we have great sponsorships, and we got to have contact with those folks so we can plan on their financial support for the youth hunt itself, because it costs us money to have the youth hunt itself. We need insurance. We get some product from Coca-Cola, but we feed them, and I mean, there's just a lot of costs that are out there for us to have the hunt itself, and then obviously the concert, that money we try to what we raise give to Wings of Valor.
Absolutely. What's your favorite part about the day?
I'd like to say when it's over. My famous line at the Turner County Fair when I was sheriff was watching taillights leaving Parker on Thursday night. That was my favorite day.
Like when everyone goes home, see you later.
But no, the kids, having them there. Actually, the funnest part is when we get them up on stage and they're questioned about their hunt.
You mean when I do that?
Yeah, that's going to be your job, Christine. And, some of the comical little answers you get is like, oh, gosh, yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's fun. It is really fun to see the kids on stage and tell their story about how their day went. That is really fun.
Absolutely. It's Byron Nogelmeyer talking about the 2024 Turner County Charity Youth Pheasant Hunt 20th anniversary, and it's featuring Josh Gracin on Saturday, October 19th. And then, Byron, we got to get that ticket information. How can people get tickets for the show?
You can. The easiest way, if you're not in the Turner County area, is go to itickets.com. So www.itickets.com. I as the letter I. And just go on and search Josh Gracin, and it should bring you up to our event. There is a little fee for buying them online, but it's so convenient and easy. So I would suggest if you live a little further away, that would be the easiest way to do it. Otherwise, we're selling them at Ace Hardware in Parker, Jones Food Center in Parker, River's Edge Bank in Marion and Parker, and I think some of their other branches, maybe over in Howard, and some of them other branches that they have are selling them also. Merchant State Bank in Freeman, Hurley, Viborg, and Irene, I believe they are selling tickets. Security Bank in Chancellor is also selling tickets. I hope I haven't missed anybody, but that Parker Pharmacy, they're also selling some of the tickets also. So we got a lot of local businesses that help us sell tickets. Please go in there and purchase a ticket. Come to the Josh Gracin concert. www.itickets.com. If you're living in Sioux Falls, just look it up on the internet. They're easy to work with. It's easy to do. Print off your ticket. Come to Parker on the 19th. We'd love to see you there. We'd love to have a full house. When Jim Ed came the very first time, we had a lot of people there. I think people were showing up like, is this really the Jim Ed Brown from Nashville that's on the Grand Ole Opry? Yes, it is. People, it is. And then he brought those three others, Daryl Singletary and Jet Williams and Jimmy Fortune. And man, there's a lot of talent on the stage.
Absolutely.
Now with Josh Gracin, he's an up and coming. He's a great entertainer. Just come and enjoy the evening, if nothing else. Just come and say hi to me. I would
there
love
you go. You can't miss you either.
And you're going to be there.
I am. Yeah, I will be there.
That's a double good thing. So we're excited to have you there.
At least one good thing with you. Me, I don't know.
Oh yeah, you'll do fine.
The jury's still out on that one.
No, the jury's came in and it's not guilty on you.
Oh boy! Again, it's the 2024 Turner County Charity Youth Pheasant Hunt on Saturday, October 19th. Byron Nogelmeyer, thank you so much for giving us some of your time today and telling us all about the day, and Josh Gracin.
Thanks for having me, and please come to Parker on the 19th of October.
Sunday Focus is a public affairs program of Results Radio Town Square Media, Sioux Falls.